Hi, everybody. Hope you're having a good start to your week. We have a brief video today. I'm just going to discuss a couple of things moving into the last few weeks of our class. The first thing I wanted to talk about is that I will need you to be sure that you've logged into Tavera through the Blackboard. Specifically, what you will need to do if I'm sure you've done this before, but just to review, is that you will need to go to the Blackboard page where our syllabus is. There you will see the Tavera MA counseling button. Click on that. And then once you've done that, it will take you to our research rubric. And I will go over this with you extensively next week. I wanted to give you a chance to finish your program evaluation before I talked about this more, because you will have 2 weeks basically to get your lit review done. But in case you log in and you're looking, I don't want you to be concerned where it says 3 research questions. We have 1 PICO question that we are working with, and that will suffice here. But again, I'll talk more about what is specifically included, but this gives you a chance to go and look at the rubric. I don't think it will be anything surprising. It's what we've really been talking about for the majority of the semester. So that's for future. For this week, you do have a chapter to read. That's chapter 18 and talks about research reports. Specifically, those of you who may be interested in working on a dissertation at some point in the future, or perhaps a master's thesis, or even if you're interested in writing journal articles, that's what this chapter is going to brief you on. Even if this isn't something that interests you at this very moment, I think this is a great chapter to keep in mind, because it really gives you an understanding of what's expected, especially in peer-reviewed research, either research articles or, like I said, in dissertations. It gives you a good idea of what you'll need to be thinking about in those areas. So again, something that you can consider for the future if it's not something that you're interested in right now. We also have a prep check number 10 this week, the last one. It is on program evaluation, appropriately enough. So you will go back to that chapter 16 and be able to answer those questions from the chapter. Also, remember that I had done a video several weeks ago discussing program evaluation in more detail. Please be sure and go back and reference that if you have some questions. One thing I wanted to say about the program evaluation is be sure that the article that you are using, or the research that you're using, is actually a program evaluation. I had some people log into our office hours last week, and there were some that were a bit confused about the difference between research, just flat out research, and a program evaluation. Remember that a program evaluation is going to be much more inclusive. It's not so much that the research will be different than what you would see in a research article. You're still generally in a program evaluation going to see quantitative and qualitative, for the most part, research. So the research is still going to be there, but a program evaluation is much more inclusive. You're going to have information from the stakeholders that are involved in the program. Generally speaking, you're going to have information, which would be clients in our case, looking at mental health. You're going to have information from those who are providing the treatment, so counselors, caseworkers, again, depending on the type of program you're looking at. And then you're also probably going to have some data, more quantitative data specific to the program. So while your program evaluation paper is not expected to be that long, it's highly likely that the program evaluation you'll be reading will be longer than your typical research articles that you have been looking at up to this point. So, for example, some of you may be familiar with, or in previous classes, we've talked about CACREP, and CACREP is the organization that evaluates counseling programs. So one thing that the counselor programs have to do in order to be accredited by CACREP is a program evaluation. that type of evaluation is institutional or project evaluation, because again, it's not just evaluating one piece, it's evaluating the entire program, including the institutional background that may affect that specific counseling program. So in that case, having gone through a CACREP evaluation at a previous university, the students were surveyed, teachers were surveyed. There was a lot of data collected about the specifics of class prep time, the amount or the specific objectives for each class. That's where our Tavera actually, the need to use that system comes from that CACREP evaluation procedure, that we have to continue monitoring that consistently for the students in order to remain accredited. So you can see that's a much larger process, much more data gathering than perhaps just a specific research study on accounts, one specific counseling theory or technique. So just be sure that the article that you are using is truly a program evaluation. If you have questions about that, I will be glad to see you in office hours, but remember that this is due this week. So you need to be sure that that gets taken care of. You can also email it to me if you have concerns about the specific article that you have found. You're welcome to email me the article and I'll take a look at it just to be sure. But again, I just want to make sure everybody understands that it does need to be an actual evaluation of a complete program. So I believe that was all that I wanted to really touch on this week. For next week, we will be talking specifically about your lit review and what's to be expected. And next week will actually be the last time that I will reach out by video. But of course, I will be available between now and the end of the semester for continuing questions or concerns. So please reach out. Again, if you'd like to come to office hours on Thursday, just shoot me an email so I know that you're going to be there, and I'll be glad to get with you at that time. Hope you have a great week and good luck with your assignment.